How's it going, everyone? Got a few PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 game updates to go over for you guys. Dying Light 2, the file size is very interesting when you compare PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 copies of the game, as you guys may have expected. On PS5, a bit more optimized, and the file size will be considerably smaller, so we'll talk about that. On top of that, PlayStation game size, Twitter account I think everybody should follow. CyberPunk 2077 on PlayStation 5 has been spotted, so we'll talk about that. And then Chernobylite is coming to PS5 and Xbox Series alongside a PC Enhanced Edition on April 21st, so we'll talk that at the end of this video. But first of all, Dying Light 2 dropping this Friday, February the 4th, just a few days away. You might be wondering what this is going to set you back from a file size standpoint. Well, if you're on PlayStation 4, it's going to be just under 51 gigabytes. I believe it's like 50.9 gigabytes, so relatively big install there, but definitely not the craziest that we've seen. On PlayStation 5, however, you're shaving that file size in half, where it is going to be 25.419 gigabytes. So yes, it is going to be half the file size on PlayStation 5, which is great because I know some people are looking to expand their PS5 storage, but at this stage of the game, a lot of us still have, you know, the standard, 600 gigabytes and change or whatever it is when it comes out of the box. Is it 600 or 7? I don't remember exactly, but what I do know is that amount of storage does get pretty tight for me a lot of the times. I have to delete games all the time, and I'm just not a big fan of doing that. But, you know, them's the breaks, you know, first world problems as far as that's concerned. I have a PlayStation 5, so I should just be grateful for that. But yes, the file size is very, very appealing here at 25 gigabytes. I'm going to be picking this game up day one, and based on the comments I'm seeing from you guys, it seems like a lot of you guys, now, we do have a specific audience that are obviously people that are more hardcore into video games, but it seems like from what I'm reading in the comment section, yes, we do advocate the idea of waiting for sales and everything like that, but it seems like a lot of you guys, you're picking up Dying Light 2 on day one, you're picking up Elden Ring on day one, and you're picking up Horizon on day one, which is something that, you know, I probably wouldn't always recommend, you know, picking up all the big game releases, but I also talked to a couple of my buddies that I know they're super into video games, but I kind of get an anecdotal viewpoint from them because, you know, I'm kind of in an interesting position where I have this YouTube channel and I have the, I'm thankful and grateful for the fact that I can buy all these games, but them, they're just people that are super into video games, so I kind of pick their brains and get, you know, input from them on what they think, and I was surprised to hear how many people are just picking up all 3 games in February. You know, I talked to my boys and they were just like, yeah, it's a lot of money, but guess what? Horizon doesn't come out until February 18th, so what am I gonna do for 2 weeks as far as video games go? Dying Light 2 Stay Human is gonna keep me busy until then, and I'm also talking about people here, we're talking like 4 people that also picked up Pokemon Legends Arceus, so they're going from Arceus, Dying Light 2, Horizon, and Elden Ring back to back to back to back, which I find fascinating. I'm actually curious how many people are going to do that, so if you want to sound off in the comment section below, just because I'm interested in this viewpoint, because I think everybody agrees that February is a stacked month of game releases, but I was a bit surprised that not as many people are going the route of picking and choosing what they're picking up, and they're just going all in and picking up everything. I think, you know, a lot of people are waiting on games like Sifu and maybe King of Fighters, but if you're a fighting game fan, you're probably picking up King of Fighters anyway. But nevertheless, ramble over. What I am excited about is the fact that if you are on PS5, 25 gigabytes to install Dying Light 2, and best of all, you know, the PlayStation 5 version of this game is probably going to be pretty good, but I also do expect the PS4 version to run pretty well. Dying Light 1 ran rather well on the PS4, now Dying Light 2 is a step above that, but hopefully Techland made it so the PS4 version, 1080p, 30 FPS consistent, and then of course on PS5 you're going to have a plethora of different options as far as how you want to run the game. Again, out this Friday, February the 4th. Moving on from that, also noted on the PlayStation Game Size Twitter account, CyberPunk 2077 has been spotted as a PlayStation 5 release with an alternate artwork. The account specifically noted, I think it's coming on mid-February, early March. That's the PlayStation 5 native version. Obviously, if you play CyberPunk 2077 on the PS5, you're going to be getting a better frame rate. And from my experience and from what I've seen, some of the bugs are a little bit more tame on the PS5. However, it's not a native PS5 version. Like, all the upgrades aren't there yet, and that's really what a lot of people are waiting for. And I know a lot of people that picked up the game for like 10 bucks because it's been readily available for 10 bucks in the fall of last year, and they're just waiting for this official PS5 upgrade to drop, and they're gonna jump back into the game. It's crazy how the narrative has shifted on Cyberpunk so quickly, because I remember leading into the game's release, I had my reservations after all those delays, and I think a lot of people that, know how things work when so many delays happen, we had our reservations, but the anticipation, the hype was so astronomically high that I was 100% sure people were going to be disappointed by this game. I didn't expect, it to be the train wreck disappointment that it was, but there we are, and I knew what CDPR was going to do. They were going to continue to update this game. They were going to make it better over time, and then like a year later, oh, the narrative changes. Does anybody else think Cyberpunk 2077 got the short end of the stick? It's a little bit of an underrated game. I mean, again, gaming very much is a what have you done for me lately, and we forget about things, and it's very much, we take news as it comes in the form of recency. Cyberpunk 2077 got bashed for a little bit, and now the narrative is starting to shift. And if CDPR can continue to update the game, if they can continue to make it better, if this PS5 upgrade is banger, I think the narrative is going to shift even more on this game. Now, is it ever going to live up to the anticipation that initially was had on this game? No, I don't think it'll ever get to that point, but I do think that people at some point, maybe a year down the line, 2 years down the line, they're going to look at this game and they're going to be like, hey, it's a pretty decent RPG. Is it the best RPG of all time? Probably not, but it's a game that if you spend 20-30 bucks on, it's not a bad pickup. And let's actually look at what the Steam reception on the game is. So the Steam reception has shifted to mostly positive reception. That's across 430,000 reviews, 76% positive. And if memory serves me correctly, the game's reception was not that strong when it initially came out. Don't really agree with the Metacritic score. I think that 86 is way too high. Even, I haven't played the game super recently, but based on what I initially played, and that's what the Metacritic score is based off of, 86 is definitely way too high for a game like this. But continue to upgrade it. I do think it's going to get better over time. At least that's the hope. Would I spend $60 on it? Absolutely not, bro. It's $10 readily available all the time, so go to Best Buy. Might be $10 right now. I don't know, but it's available very cheap all the time, so yeah. And lastly, I do want to note, Chernobylite is coming to PS5 and Xbox Series alongside PC. The Enhanced Edition on April 21st. Downloadable content and physical PS5 edition is due out on the same day as well. Chernobylite did see a release on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One not too long ago, I think back in July of last year. The game got a very positive reception on Steam, 6,700 reviews, 83% positive. Definitely gives me vibes of like a Stalker title or some of the older Fallout games. Has survival elements here, post-apocalyptic world, done by the Form 51, who also did Get Even, which was a pretty interesting psychological horror title. Not perfect, but I remember like being kind of surprised by that game, and it seems like they're doing pretty good work with Chernobylite as well. Again, that is dropping on April the 21st, and that is the upgraded version on PS5 and Xbox Series, and PC will be getting an Enhanced Edition. And that's going to do it for me. Again, as far as Dying Light goes, if you're on PS5, it's going to be pretty tame on your SSD, so that is a huge thumbs up for me, because I think my file size, or my storage space, is getting pretty thin right now, so might have to delete some stuff here soon. There are just some games that I always have like installed, and I like never want to delete them because I go back to these games every now and again. Like, I have like My Hero One's Justice 2 still installed because it's a game that I'll, jump in every like month or so, and I'll have fun for a little bit. But at this point, I could probably delete that game. But nevertheless, you guys get the idea. Just nice. We'll have a smaller install size for Dying Light 2 on PS5. Cyberpunk 2077 PS5 version has been spotted. Hopefully, it does drop sometime soon, and hopefully, if you picked it up for $10, you can jump into it soon. And yeah, have a good time with that. Relatively good time. Keep your expectations in line. Don't expect a earth-shattering game, and I do think you'll end up enjoying it, especially if a lot of the bugs are remedied with this PS5 upgrade. Lastly, Chernobylite coming to PS5 and Xbox Series alongside PC's Enhanced Edition on April 21st. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.